Hello and welcome to another US Cutter video. Today we're going to show you how to assemble the Vulcan FC500VC flatbed cutter. This machine has been engineered for simplicity and will take you around 30 minutes or more to assemble. Most of the work can be done by one person, but I do advise you to bring a second in when lifting the tabletop itself. It also comes with all the tools and parts needed to assemble the table and stand, so let's go ahead and get started. When the FC500VC ships, it will ship freight and arrive in two separate boxes. The smaller box will contain the vacuum unit, and then the larger crate will have everything else inside of it. Upon opening the box, you will notice that everything is packaged nice and neat in multiple layers. On top is the instruction manual, and then inside this little box here next to it is going to be all of your smaller parts with your leg braces and then also the other tools and everything else that come with it. Here in the center on the top layer is a little bit of protective cardboarding for the tabletop. And once we remove that, you'll see that the tabletop is actually the entire middle layer. I had some help when lifting the tabletop out so that I wouldn't hurt my back, and I suggest you do the same too. Underneath the tabletop is the third and final layer, and that's going to be both of the legs. I went ahead and laid everything out to go ahead and show and explain what each part is. In the center, you have the flatbed cutter top. It has the cutting and creasing pad inserted inside of it for transport, as well as some foam blocks for support. You can also see the touch pad and emergency stop button right here, and I'm going to go ahead and call this the front of the cutter. I have the left leg and right leg surrounding the table. The left leg also has an arrow sticker that you will want to match up with the similar arrow sticker on the same side of the table. Then from inside that large box that we took out at the very beginning of the video, we have the table leg braces, and then we have the brace cover that has a little hole in the side of it so that the vacuum hose can go through it. More on that vacuum assembly later. We also have this little brown box that has all of the smaller parts in it, like the tools, power cables, blades, screws, and everything else. To assemble the table, we just need to pull the Phillips head screwdriver and the hex key that was included, as well as a 12-pack of hex screws and a 4-pack of Phillips head screws. I'm going to start by inserting one of the leg braces into the right leg and then screwing it in by using 2 hex screws. The leg has a little notch that you're going to insert the brace into, and the holes will line up perfectly for you to put a hex screw and thread it through there. At this point, you also want to make sure that the top of the brace also has 2 screw holes facing up so that we can attach the brace cover after we've attached both legs. Insert a hex screw into each hole and then repeat the process for the brace on the opposite side. Once attached to the right leg, now it's time to attach it to the left leg. Getting both to slide in at the same time is a little tricky, but it can be done. This side also requires 2 hex screws in each brace as well, and after attaching both braces, we can now attach the cover with the slot for the vacuum. You want the opening for the vacuum to be up against the right side, and then once the cover is on, it's actually time to attach the tabletop. Make sure that you have the 2 sides lined up properly by having the arrows located on the same side when you put the tabletop on. You want to make sure that all 4 of the threads line up and you can see through them before putting a hex screw in each one. You have 2 threads located on each side. This will use the last 4 of your hex screws, and then now we just need to assemble the vacuum. The vacuum unit is separate from the table and also requires a separate power supply, so you will also need an outlet to plug into for the vacuum as well. You also only control the vacuum through the touchpad on the table, so there's not a power switch or anything like that. Now, on the back side of the vacuum is where we connect everything. On the left side of it, you have the suction side, and on this side we're going to install the relief valve and the hose onto this extender and then connect it into the left side. On the right side, what you're going to put on here is the extender and then the filter. Once assembled, you will put it underneath the table and connect the hose and plug in the connection cable to the bottom of the table, and the table is ready to be powered on and put to work. That's pretty much it. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this, and have yourself a wonderful day.